Let's go over this do now questions. So we're going to simplify this. Before we simplify, we need to do keep, change if you have subtraction. So I'm going to do keep, change, keep, change, keep, change. If it's addition, you don't need to do anything. You just leave there. Okay, just leave it. All right, so now do we have any like terms? We do have like terms, which is these two. I'm going to just circle the sign to. And we have these two are like terms. So let's combine 3x squared minus 2 plus negative 2x squared. This is going to be 5x squared. And now we need to combine negative 4x and negative 5x, which is plus negative 9x. So you can just write the answer like 5x squared minus 9x. The next one, we have these twos are like terms, and we have these twos are like terms. So negative 2d plus 5d, and you combine 7 and 8. So it's going to be, if you add this, 3d plus 15. There's no like term, so we're good. We're good to go. All right, so we're going to read this together. So we're going to talk about polynomial, monomial, and we're going to talk about like quadratic equations from in this unit, and we're going to how to like multiply them, and we're going to how to add them. So we need to know about a monomial. Like a monomial is a real number. It could be a number or a variable or a product of them, a real number and one or more variables with whole number exponents, no negative exponents. Okay, for example, like a number 18 or 20 or negative 1/2 or 0. The variable like x or y or any variable, it can be a product of those two. So it can be 18x, 20y, or it can be more variables. So I can put them together. 18xa, usually put ax, 20xy, or 21x squared y squared, or negative 1/2 z cubed, something like that. Those are all called monomial, because they're alone by multiplied by a number or a variable. So now we're going to talk about, like when you're talking about monomial, we need to talk about degree of a monomial. So the degree of monomial is the sum of the exponents of its variable. So the degree of a non-zero constant is 0, and 0 has no degree. So if you just have 0, then no, there's no degree. So for example, what is the degree of 18x? You just look at the exponent. So x to the what power? First power. So its degree is 1. What about 18xa? We have x to the first power, a to the first power. So you need to add 1 plus 1. So degree is going to be 2. And what about x squared, y squared? Squared plus squared, you need to add them together. So the degree of this is going to be 4. And what about this? 1/2, negative 1/2 z to the third power? z to the third power. 3 is the degree. And x to the first, y to the first, what's the degree? 2. What's the degree? Only 1. So when you are talking about degree, you only care about exponents of the variable. All right, let's look at the example. Question A. So we only care about the variable, which is x. The degree is 1. So we care about x and y, x to the third, y to the second. So you need to get the sum of it, which is 3 plus 2. The degree is going to be 5. And 4, what's the degree? There's no variable, which means it's 0 degree. Because if there was variable, it's going to be x to the 0 power. Because x to the 0 power is what? This guy is 1. So 4 times 1 is still 4. So if you have to find a degree in this way, then you have to say, oh, it's 0. And I just prove it. And the degree of non-zero, I need you to copy down. Non-zero constant is 0. And what is the degree of each monomial? I need you to do it by yourself, okay? So degree of each monomial, x to the first, y to the first. 1 plus 1, 2. No equal sign, so degree is going to be y to the fourth, z to the first. 4 plus 1, 5. 11, 0. Degree is 0. Now we're going to practice to simplify it by adding or subtracting monomials. So now how many monomials we have? We have 2. And we do have same variable and same exponents. So they are like terms. So like terms, we can combine them. X squared. How many x squared are there? We have 3 and 5, which is 8. And we have x to the third y, x to the third y. And there is 1 hiding. So now you can, when you have same monomial, you just combine 4 minus 1, which is 3, and you keep the monomial. And I need you to try it by yourself. All right, what's the answer for this? It's 5x to the fourth power. And this is negative 5x squared y to the fourth power. You do keep change and change. Okay, change. I'm going to just put negative. So now we talked about monomial, but now we're going to talk about polynomial. A polynomial is a monomial. Monomial or a sum of monomial. The following polynomial is the sum of monomials, this and this and this and this. So when you put them together, then it's called polynomial. Now poly means what? Like many, right? So now let's think about the degree of each monomial. It's 4, 2, x to the first power, 1 times x to the 0 power, so 0. We also talk about degree of polynomial after we write in the standard form like this. So the standard form of polynomial means that the degree of its monomial terms decreases from left to right. From left to right. So it's like descending order. The degree of polynomial, I'm going to fix here. So the degree of polynomial, it should be the greatest exponents.